My guest today is an entrepreneur, author, visionary leader, and someone deeply passionate about impact, creativity, and empowering people through business and purpose. She has built businesses, led initiatives focused on mentorship and empowerment, and used her platform to bridge entrepreneurship, leadership, creativity, and personal growth. Our guest today is Ruby Mbelu. What I found especially interesting about her journey is that she represents a new generation of leaders, people who are not just building companies, but building influence, culture, and legacy at the same time. She also is author of a book centered around growth, purpose, and transformation. And through her work, foundation, and leadership, she continues to inspire people to think bigger about what's possible for their lives. I'm Vardan, and you're watching The Vardan Ter-Antonyan Show. Let's go.
Welcome to the Vardan Ter-Antonyan Show. We're sitting down with authors, speakers, entrepreneurs, executives, and industry leaders to talk about business, leadership, and strategy. In a world where competition is ruthless, information is power, and decisions move markets, this is where leaders learn how to win. Let's get into it.
Today, we're going to talk about entrepreneurship, leadership, identity, purpose, success, modern culture, and the psychology behind building something meaningful in today's world. It's my pleasure to introduce Ruby Mbelu. Welcome, Ruby.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Of course, absolutely. It's my pleasure. I just have to say that I really loved watching your YouTube videos. I think
Thank you.
you're so funny and charismatic, and you and your husband are so amazing together. Your videos are very enlightening, and you can see that by, the number of views. I actually wanted to see more of your videos because they're physically and actually psychologically uplifting me. One of your videos had the last one I think had 276,000 views or something like that, which is so amazing. But
Yes.
so the last one was made like 4 years ago. Your videos are so
Yes.
amazing. Why no content for 4 years?
Well, I just decided to focus more on my actual business, which is childcare.
Mm-hmm.
Content creating was something I dabbled into during the pandemic, right? When
Right.
there was a sit at home. So all the kids were home and I was home and I had all this knowledge in my head. And, I still wanted to have a platform. I still wanted to share my experience. I still wanted my voice to be heard. So we started it and it just blew up. But then it was back to work, right? So I was like, how do I juggle content creating and my business, and the business won. But I'm back, okay? I am back now. I feel like I have, stability in my business and I can venture into other things. So that's why, I'm coming back to YouTube and also writing my book. I'm doing other things now, but that's the story
Absolutely.
behind
Yeah,
it.
that
It
is,
went viral. It was so good. I enjoyed that time. I really did. I enjoyed it.
I can see why it went viral because it actually instantly went viral for me too. I was like, yes, I want to hear more about this.
Thank you.
Before we get into the deeper kind of psychological and philosophical questions and stuff, I actually want to start with the foundation of everything you're building right now. So talk about
Mhm.
your businesses, your foundation, your book, and the bigger mission behind all of it.
Yes. So I am a childcare provider. I own daycares in the Dallas, Texas area. So I have been doing that for over 20 years. I have over 20 years experience in childcare, and it has been amazing. It's been rewarding. I love doing what I do. Recently, I started a foundation in my country, in Nigeria, West Africa. And really, what the foundation is about is empowering women to start small businesses. I wanted to empower them. I wanted them to help shape their community and provide for their family while doing that. So that's the foundation we started, and it's really doing well. This year, I started writing a book, and really, the book is a child care expert's guide to even better parenting. And funny story why I even started the book is because I have like a small circle of friends, and they know that I'm in childcare. So they're always wanting to pick my brain on parenting. They want to know different things that, how they can help their families and how they can be even better parents. And we're always going out to one brunch or the other. And I'm like, this brunch is getting expensive. Rather than reach just my small circle of friends, I want to reach a wider audience. I want to make it global, from all my experience in childcare. I want to reach a wider audience. How do we do that? And that's how I came up with writing the book. And it's created quite a buzz. I'm excited about it. And that's my new project right now. I'm really excited.
That's amazing. And it's coming out this summer.
Thank
Am I
you.
right?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's amazing. So
Thank you.
I'll tell the audience that you can reach Ruby by texting the word childcare. Is that true? So
Yes, sir.
CHILDCARE to the number 26786.
That's
You
right.
can also go to her website, which is rubymbelu.com. So RUBYMBELU.com. And her YouTube channel is Ruby Belu TV. So, and her Instagram handle is Ruby Tassy, RUBYTASSY. So yeah, and yeah, I hope people do reach out, because what you're doing is actually pretty amazing. You are
Thank you.
kind of helping lots, like thousands of parents with our next generation of,
That's right.
I don't know, presidents and people who make
Future
decisions.
leaders. Yes.
Exactly, leaders and the next generation of our society. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
So, the statistics shows that only about 1% of businesses survive long term and become successful. And usually people
Yes.
only see the final result of the successful business, but no one really sees all the hard work, the blood, the sweat and tears that went you know, into it, so to go through all that and get to the finish line as a winner is the hardest thing to achieve. More than
It
that,
is.
though, success is fragile. It's hard to achieve and it's even harder to maintain.
Yes.
What has success cost you personally that people never see?
Ooh. That is a very good question. Success has cost me rest. It has cost me rest. I would say time. Spend quite a lot of time building something great. So you miss out on precious moments sometimes with your
Mm,
own family, right? So that's the cost of success. You have moments of exhaustion. You have even moments of self doubt. So you go through these seasons, you're doubting yourself. And then you have this season of exhaustion. You're tired, but you can't really, rest too much because, you're building something, right?
mhm,
But you have to always remember that success and your business is a responsibility. It is a responsibility. People are depending on me.
mm,
So I have to keep showing up. Even if I'm scared, even if I'm tired, I have to keep showing up. It's a responsibility. People are depending on me. And with this, my line of business, which is childcare, it's quite different from other industries because with childcare, one thing it taught me was real success is when you're serving people and no one is even applauding, right?
Right.
You and they're not gonna be like, "Good job, Miss Ruby, for being an awesome leader today." Nobody's applauding in this industry. Um, but I just love the fact that even in this business, I'm not just building a business, I'm creating a safe space for families. I'm creating a safe space for the children, right? And that's real success to me. That is real success. The fact that I'm making a positive impact in their lives, that is real success. Yeah, but
Absolutely.
it will cost you your time and it will cost you rest.
Yeah, yeah. No, you have to worry about so many things. The children, the employees, the safety, just, keeping the lights on, maintaining the
Exactly.
building, opening new, scaling up and so on and so forth. How many sites do you have right now in Dallas?
3.
3 sites. That's amazing. Good job. Are you
Thank you.
is your plan to grow even more and more?
I think I would stay at 3.
Okay.
I I am looking at an area in Dallas, the Dallas Metroplex called Anna Salina area. I am looking at that area. But what I might end up doing is selling one of my daycares just to move to the Anna area. So I still cap it at 3
Mhm.
or I may go to 4. I don't know, but I'm taking it one step at a time. The Anna Salina area is an up and coming area. It's
Uh-huh.
growing. So I would love to serve in that community, right? I would love to bring my expertise there. I would love to build something there and add value to the community because they are going to need childcare. So
Mhm.
I want to, be able to build that for them and maybe sell one of my other existing daycares to someone who is wanting to start childcare business, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Everything is
Absolutely.
still one day at a time.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, when
Thank
people
you.
talk about your legacy 30 years from now, what do you hope they say mattered most?
Yeah, with legacy, impact matters most. To answer your question, the
Yeah.
impact you make in the lives of the children and the families, the people around you. I want people to remember me as someone who empowered people, who helped people grow and dream big. Okay. I want to be remembered as someone who is a woman of purpose, but I also have like integrity. I led with integrity because that's important in business.
Mhm.
Leading with integrity is very important in business. So I want people to remember that about me. I want them to remember that I built something with purpose, intentional. I'm an intentional woman and I led with integrity. One thing I always say is that children will forget the toys. They
Mhm.
will forget the nice things you bought for them. They will forget the candy and the food and everything, right? But the one thing that they will never forget is how safe you made them feel,
Right.
how safe they were around you. They would never forget how you believed in them and also the confidence that you instilled in them, right? So that's my legacy. I want my legacy to live in the confidence of the children that I'm helping raise. Okay. So that's the legacy that I want to live. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, that's great. And
Thank
I've
you.
kind of seen some pictures of your childcare centers, and they look so
Thank you.
amazing, so amazing.
Thank you.
It does show, really show that these places you've built are safe and they're fun and they are, educational and, really
Thank
kind
you.
of good places for children to be. Uh, Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
so you have a giant impact on not only kids but parents and your listeners and just your audience and stuff, and hopefully you will definitely continue, always find some time to continue to put out some content out there, because
I will.
I've listened to like just a few and they were gems. I really loved it, right?
Oh,
So,
thank you. I appreciate that.
and actually,
Thank you.
funny thing, I listened to one of them, the last one, and kind of like, oh, well, it gave me a lot of like, oh my god, and then I went and started talking to my wife about this thing, right? So we'll get back to that though.
Yes, yes.
Just to tell people about the core of who you are. So if all the titles and disappear tomorrow, entrepreneur, author, founder, whatever, what would still remain at the core of who you are, Um,
Yes,
yeah. Who is Ruby Bellu?
yes. My God, titles don't mean anything to me, honestly. Titles are just titles, right? Before the titles, I was a nurturer, and after the titles, I'm still one. I'm still a nurturer, right? That's just my nature. That's who I am. I want to be remembered, as I said before, as a woman of purpose. I want people to remember that I'm also a woman of faith. I am resilient, tenacious. I am intentional. I'm a very
Mhm,
intentional leader and an intentional mom, right? So titles are not like a flex for me,
mhm.
right? Titles are not the flex.
Yeah.
The real flex is the impact that you make, the impact that you leave behind
Yes. Yes.
when the titles are gone, right? When the
That's right.
titles are gone, the impact that you have made, the impact that you leave behind, that is the real flex. Yeah. So titles, I'm still Ruby from, down the street, titles really don't mean anything to me. Yeah.
It's so amazing that you're still down to the ground, meaning like you're still the the person of the people, not
Absolutely.
like you don't count yourself as, more important than everyone else or whatever, that's so,
No.
so good.
With my line of work, I have to be that way, right? I have to wear many hats because I come into the office, I am Miss Ruby in the office, right? And then I go into the classroom and hi friends, how are you? Let's sit down and let's sing ABC and 1, 2, 3. And the children are not looking at you like the boss just walked in, right? They don't care. They see you as a friend, right? And then you have your friends, then you have your family. My children, they admire their mom as a boss, but I'm still mom, right? So they still call me 50 million times a day, mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mom. Can we have spaghetti? Hi, mom. And you can't worry about titles in those precious moments. And you find that in those are the moments that matter most, not the moments where you're feeling so high power and boss lady and stuff like that. It's in the precious moments when you're singing with the kids, you're burping a baby, helping a baby burp, or, putting a baby to sleep, or you're singing, or you're making spaghetti for the child. That's my happy place. Not so much titles, right?
Right.
When
Now,
you,
yeah,
for my line of work, and I think for most businesses as well, when you focus on serving people and making impact, that's the real success. That's when money
right,
comes. Because most people would focus on making money. So I open a business and I want to make money. I open a business and I want to grow, right? Or like social media presence, right? So I
right.
I open things and I want a lot of followers and stuff like that.
Yes.
But success is not measured in that, is measured in the impact that you're making, right? And how you're serving people. If you can if you can open up a business and focus on how do I add value? How do I create value in my community? How do I add value to the people? money will come. Money will
Exactly.
come. Don't focus on the money, focus on serving people, and money will come. Yeah.
That is so true. So true. Yeah, when you learn to listen to the voice of your customers, voice of the
Mm-hmm.
people, even the voice of your employees.
Absolutely.
Yes, like the purpose, and when you put the purpose to make other people happy, that money will come. It's
Yes.
such a big mistake that literally probably 99% of businesses are making this mistake, is like when they open, they're like, okay, profits, 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 whatever, all that stuff. But yeah, they just don't know that first and foremost you have to, make people happy, give them
Yes.
give them
Yes.
that, and
Value
what you
added.
want will
Value
come.
added. Yes.
Exactly,
Value
exactly.
added, and then success will come. Yeah.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Yeah, so have you always wanted to be a nurturer, like always kind of from the childhood you wanted to do this, or at which point did you think this is my calling?
Yes. So as a child, I knew I wanted to be working with children in some capacity because
Okay.
I grew up an only child. And to some extent, I just felt so lonely at home, right?
Mm,
And I used to love people coming over, the other children, or when my parents set up like a play date. I loved it because now finally someone to
yeah.
play with, right? And then sometimes we would travel to our hometown for holidays like Christmas and, different holidays. And I loved it because then I get to see my cousins and I get to play with other children. So I knew that growing up, I wanted to be around children in some capacity. So I thought about two different careers. I thought I would either do teaching, like be a
Hmm.
teacher with children, or I would be a doctor, like a gynecologist,
Hmm.
and help other women, give birth to children. As a child, I just thought, a woman walks into the hospital and I'll be the gynecologist just to hand her a baby, right? I didn't know how
Hmm.
babies were made. I just know I just want to give babies to all the, because I just felt like as a child, I wondered why my mom, you know, she had some fertility issues and stuff, but I
Mm.
always wondered, why won't the doctor just give my mom a baby, So I wanted to be the doctor to pass babies. You get a baby and you get a baby and everybody gets a baby, right? So that's what I thought that's how it works, right? Come to find out, that's not how it works. I got to college, I started my pre-med degree, and then I quickly realized that I hate everything that has to do with blood
Mm.
and, all the doctors. I was like, no, I can't do this. So I had to go back to my first love. I
Mm.
used to work at a grocery store, a local grocery store while in college, but I also had a job in a daycare and I loved it, right? So I
Mhm.
worked there for a long time, all through college. I graduated, still working there, moved from Tennessee, where I was, to Texas and still was working at a daycare. I moved up in the company to become a director. And then after that, long story short, I decided from that moment being a director, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, right?
Mhm.
And then I had all these different skills, like I was very creative I still am very creative with, like my environment. I would, you know, decorate my house so well and people will compliment me and they would also ask for tips on how to decorate
Mhm.
their home. So I wanted to try interior design business. And then I quickly just realized that, I was taken advantage of because people would ask me, oh, how do you, what colors do you think will go well with my living room? And here go me talking. I would give them all the ideas. I'll give them the vendors. I'll be like, oh, you can buy this from here and you can set this up. I was doing all that and I did not make any money from it. I did not charge consulting fee. I didn't charge anything. And my husband was like, Ruby, what are you doing? Like, this is not a business. You just helping people decorate their homes and you're not even making any money, right? So then I was like, okay, on to the next business.
Yes.
and I'm a very good cook. So I said, okay, I'm going to try catering. And then I did 2 gigs and I was like, okay, this is not me. And then my husband was like, at what point are you going to go back to your first love, which is, children? So I was like, okay, I guess I'll do what I was really meant to do, And then I started my childcare business in my house. So I
Mhm.
used to own a home daycare and I did that for 5 years before we got like a center and then we just grew from there.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. When you are successful when you're doing what you really love doing, and what I mean, you love doing the other things too, but it didn't seem like the other things were your calling, and this
No,
is.
it wasn't.
Yes.
This
And
is
this
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 is my
is, and
calling.
that's amazing. So never stop, please.
Thank you.
So
I don't plan to.
that's awesome. So uh this other question is that, so you said you went from director to actually owning your own business and so on, and like expanding. And so what
Hmm.
that takes is actually incredible strength and not being afraid, because it's a scary proposition. You know, you're
Hmm.
going from just making a salary, you're just making your money. Somebody else worries about all the other things that business requires,
Yes.
to actually being the person who is responsible for
Hmm.
all this burden. So that takes leadership, and um have you always thought about yourself as a leader? Like, was there like an event that turned you into a leader, turned you into a fearless person who said, I'm not afraid of this. I'm going to do this.
So, the answer is no. I do everything scared, but I do it anyway. That's the difference. The
Yeah.
difference between a leader and, someone who is not a leader is a leader does it scared, but you would never know, right? You would
Yes.
never see that side because we fail privately,
Hmm.
but we keep believing publicly, right?
Right.
We keep, showing up, we're consistent. And so you would never see me scared, but I do come home and I'm like, the mantle that I carry is bigger than me sometimes. I feel heavy is the crown. Really do
Yes.
feel
Yes.
it. I really do feel it. But I keep showing up. I'm consistent. I have a good team around me. My husband is amazing. So he's like the one who would always talk me into things, like he makes me brave because I, for myself, would not have gone as far as I am right now without a good support team and without a good support system, and that being my husband, right?
Yes.
And also just having good people around me, my team, my directors, the teachers, this is their passion. This is something they love to do, right?
Hmm.
So when we have our meetings and we come up with ideas on different things to do for our business to be even better in our business, even when I feel overwhelmed or I feel scared, they're like, yes, Miss Ruby, we got it. You can do this. So that really helps me. I'm like, okay, people are depending on me. I am responsible for these people. So I have to, you know, strap up and keep going. So that has helped me. I don't know that there is a pivotal moment or a
Hmm.
certain moment that just aha where I'm like, yeah, I'm a great leader. I don't think there's that moment, but over the years, what I have learned to do is I can look back on my book of remembrance, right? So anytime I'm trying a new project or anytime I'm trying something new and it feels scary, I can look back at all the other times that I was scared and God helped me and I was able to overcome that. And
Yes.
I can look at how far I've come and that will push me also. So just having a good support system and also being able to look back and reflect helps me, right? Helps
Yes.
me propel me to the next thing, the next project, or the next goal that I have, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that would be my answer to your question. No, I do it scared.
That's yeah, I understand. And when it comes to leadership, there is a correlation between adversity growing up or in the process, some kind of adversity
Hmm.
that you overcome,
Hmm.
and to have a neuroplasticity to, sort of give birth to that leadership, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
people who never overcome anything in their lives, like kids of billionaires or millionaires or whatever, right? So they don't go through adversity in their lives. Everything
Hmm.
is given to
Hmm.
them on a silver platter or whatever. These
Hmm.
types of people, they never they they become leaders because their daddies give them, the leadership
Yeah, the
positions.
platform.
Yeah, and but they're never good leaders. The good leaders are the ones that they developed that sense, making good decisions under pressure and so
Yes,
on. And not that only comes from overcoming adversity. That's what I've noticed in
yes.
in a lot of successful entrepreneurs. They've never had this amazing life, you know? And
Hmm.
if there are some that did grow up on the silver platter and millionaires and billionaires or whatever, and they do become leaders, but they are usually the most horrible leaders you can ever imagine.
Yes,
So
yes.
never thinking
That is
about
so
their
true.
people, never thinking about anyone but themselves, pretty much.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's amazing. That you've built this beautiful family, you've built a beautiful
Thank
business,
you.
and just keep going. Support system is something that you talked about. That's amazing. When you do overcome adversity, there's two,
Hmm.
y- y- if you do have an amazing support system, like your husband has been amazing for you for many
Hmm.
years, and that, you come home all stressed out and tired, and that's the support system that keeps you going, keeps you smiling, keeps you
Yes,
happy, and so on. Which
yes.
actually brings me to this really amazing thing is your last video. So I wanted to talk about the
Okay.
5 languages of love, right? Because,
Yes.
like, I actually draw a parallel between, like, I can, that just between the husband and wife, but also between a boss and their coworkers and vice versa. Also, there should be a special language. Don't call it
Yes.
a
Yes.
language of love, but it's, you
Hmm.
know, as a boss, you can't go talk to your coworkers like, they're nothing. You have to talk to them
Hmm.
a specific way, and vice
Absolutely.
versa. As an employee, you don't talk to your boss
Hmm.
like they're your friend. You talk to them a
Hmm.
specific way. So it's
Hmm.
figuring out those ways. And I think that with 50% of the country being divorced, it's just the statistics, right? 340 million people in this country, half of them are divorced, the couples.
Hmm.
And so I think that's just because they haven't figured out their languages of love, right? And how to talk to each other to be in harmony and so on. So it's very relevant. And so that made
Yes.
me, like, when I watched your video, that made me think about,
Hmm.
wait a minute, what is my language of love with my wife? And what is hers to me, right? And right away, I was like,
Hmm.
okay, so actually, there is a language that I speak with and a language that I understand. And they not necessarily the same.
Yes. Most times they're not even the same.
Yeah, exactly. So like the love language that I understand, like that means if somebody speaks with me with that language, like my wife, I
Hmm.
know she loves me, right? So I understand it.
Yes.
Which it's words of affirmation, much like your husband,
Hmm.
and physical touch, right? So and then the language that I give, that I speak with, it used to be gifts. Like I would
Hmm.
shower my wife. my girlfriend at the time, gifts, 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 gifts all the time. And she would even be like, what are you doing? It would actually make her uncomfortable. But later on in life, it kind of it morphed into what she wants it to be. So,
Mm-hmm.
but not until 10 years into marriage. I watched your video and I went upstairs and I said, oh my gosh, I just watched this video of Ruby and she was talking about this thing. And I know what your language of love is. It's service to others
Acts of
and
service, yes. Acts
service
of
to others
service.
and the quality time, just like you. And so,
Okay.
you know, and for 10 years, she's been telling me like, there's been this thing about the dishes, about the trash, about the recycling, about the vacuuming. And, she wants me to do it. And I say, yeah, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I never do it. And then I do it like in 2 days and it makes her angry. So
And then you
literally a
buy the
month ago.
gift and she's not even receiving it.
So literally a month ago, it clicked with me. I said, okay, after dinner, every day, I will go do the dishes and I will clean the counters. The counters was very important to her. She loves clean counters. So clean
Yeah,
the
me
counters
too.
and once a week I'll vacuum the floor and I'll do this and that. And I mean, for a month she's been like amazing. Like,
Oh,
nothing makes her angry anymore. Like, it used to be like little
my
things here and
goodness.
there would be like, getting to a point where she would be angry. But all those little things, they're gone. They don't make her
Yeah.
angry anymore. She's
Because you're
happy.
speaking her love language now.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it's interesting that when you actually put it in that perspective, like speak the love language, it reframes it. It makes it a lot more it sinks in. It's available in my
Yes.
brain now that I'm speaking her
Yes.
love language, right? And
Yes.
that's the
Yes.
precondition that men need and women too to to be happy in a marriage. Just
Yes.
speak
Yes.
your partner's language. And
Yes.
also tell your partner what your language is that you understand the most so that she or he can speak those languages. And so I
Yes.
had that
And it
conversation with.
also works in business.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it
And
also
that's
works
that's what I
between
wanted to ask you about. Tell me about that. Yeah.
yes. Yes. So it works in business between employees
Mhm.
and between the owner, the employer and the employees. You have to understand how to communicate with your staff,
Mhm.
right? Because everyone is different. So think about it. You have in my line of work with childcare, I'll use that as an example. You have a teacher who works for you whose love language is acts of service, right?
Mhm.
she would be she would receive anything you're saying to her better if you just came into her classroom for just
Right.
10 minutes and helped her wipe the table. She will feel
Right.
so heard. She will feel so loved, that you came in and you took some time out of your day just to come help her. Or maybe she's outside with the children and you notice a child just needed their face wiped and you just helped her wipe their face. That means so much to her than for you to teach her appreciation, you go get a big gift. It's the
Yeah.
little things to that particular person because her love language is acts of service. Or if it's somebody whose love language is quality time, they would love, just 10 minutes. How was your day going?
Mhm.
So, how was your weekend? Tell me what is the most exciting thing that has happened this week for you. And they get to spend time with you in your office, right?
Mm.
I do this with my teachers and my staff that I know that this is their love language. And when they get to like my director or my assistant goes to call them out of the class just to give them a break and, let them know, oh, Miss Ruby is calling you in the office, right?
Mhm.
These ones, because their love language is quality time, they're so excited to go to Miss Ruby's office just to talk to me for 10 minutes. They are never scared, like, the boss is calling me. What, am I in trouble? Because that's her love language. And she's like, Miss Ruby, let me tell you what I did this weekend. You know what I mean? So it works with people. And when people want to feel heard, people want to feel seen. So you just need to learn from your staff how they receive that love, how they feel heard and seen, right? Then it's
Absolutely.
also the ones who love gifts. There are people who love gifts, and for them, for the ones who love gifts, it's never about the price of the gift. It's
Mm,
always about the thought behind the gift, right? So you could be driving to work and decide to get donuts or get
hmm
coffee for the employees. And that employee whose love language is gifts would appreciate, she got me coffee. So it's not, you don't have to go buy a Chanel bag for all your employees, right? It's just the
Right.
little things that count, right? Just the little thought that you got her coffee or you got her donut. She's gonna feel so loved, so heard, so seen. And when you make your employees feel that, they will go to bat for you. They will do so much to help your business grow. One thing,
So
this is
true.
another mistake that business owners make, is they focus so much on the structure and the systems. They focus so much on making money. You don't build structure and systems. You build people. When
Right.
you build people, those people build the structure and the
hmm
systems. So as a leader, you focus on your staff. You build them. Once you build them, they'll build your business for you. They will make your business grow, you know? So
So
that's one
true.
thing I would advise business owners: focus on
Absolutely.
building, and they
That's
will build your business.
Yeah, that is so, so, so true. And I've actually never heard any leaders say that out loud, and that's missing. That's missing.
Yeah.
And so, right there, that was basically like the secret to great leadership, secret to your employees loving you, literally, and going to
Yes.
bat for you, and coming through, with
Yes.
anything that they need to do and everything. So amazing. Ruby, thank you so much. This has
Thank
been
you.
such a pleasure to do this with you. And I wish you the
Thank you.
biggest luck in everything that you do. Yes, and I am subscribed to your YouTube channel. And I would
Thank
love
you.
I would love to watch more videos of you. And happy Mother's Day tomorrow.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you
and
so
I
much.
know you're gonna spend it really, really well because I know your husband loves you very much. And
Yes, he
and
does.
I'll do the same. I'll do the same.
Yes, yes. So her love language is acts of service, right? So
Yes,
she's not picking up not one thing tomorrow. You are doing everything. And, you know, oh,
exactly.
this was nice. This was nice. I thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for having me here. I really
Of course.
enjoyed this. And just hearing that you watched my videos, I am truly honored, truly humbled, that, even till date, a video that I made like 4 years ago is still
Yeah,
helping people and making impact. That's just so good to hear. I am so happy. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Yeah, and you know that I still plan to go watch the two videos that you made. One, why men cheat on their wives, and why wives cheat on their husbands. I have to watch that because
My goodness.
because so I've been cheated on in the past. I've never cheated, and I still want to know why it's done.
Yes. Yes. So after you finish watching all those videos, invite me back and then we talk about it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Okay. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great Mother's Day tomorrow, and I will see you later.
Yes,
Until next
sir.
time.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Bye.
Bye.